Hey guys! Hello, it's Belinda and Belinda's Book Nook, and we are in my car at pickup waiting for my kids. It's early release today, and I got here a few minutes early hoping to avoid some of the crazy parents and so that they wouldn't think I'm crazy sitting here talking to the phone. I am not going to talk to you about a Friday Reads because guess what? I am still reading the book. Almost done though. This is the Good Luck Girls. That was what I'm reading. I wanted to talk to you today about a graphic novel for my series for diverse graphic novels and comics. And this one is called They Called Us Enemy, and it's by George Takei. And for the older ones like myself, you might remember him. And here's a lovely picture of him from Star Trek, from the old Star Trek now, not the new ones with the cool young guys right now. This is the old ones, old school. He wrote this book basically on his experience with regards to the Japanese concentration camps that we had here in the 20s. Was that 2020? No, excuse me, not 20s. 1942. 20s, 40s, 50s. I'm really good with the dates, right? In the 40s. And so I've read a couple other books with regards to this topic. I think one was called Gaijin, which was really good. And then there was another one that I did. I can't remember. And a book. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite ones. I really like this one for many reasons, which I'll discuss. Here's a couple of looks at the pictures in here. Really good, really good. Couple more so you can see them. Aren't they nice? Yeah. Instead of moving the book, I can move the phone. Hello. Anyway, that's the beauty of being able to hold the phone, right? So, anyhow, I had started this, kind of going in knowing a little bit because I've read, like I said, a couple other books, but I really appreciated this one because I feel like this one touched on more personal things. It talked about his experience. It was his actual experience with his family, and from being taken from their homes and shuttled onto these trains and not knowing where they're going and having to just basically go along and see what's going to happen. But what I thought was neat about this one, even more than the others that I had read, is that it talked about the experience from him. Like, you could see through a kid's eyes and not just an adult's. And he tackled there were little nuances and little things in here that you just might not think about, one, for example, and these aren't really spoilers. One, from an adult's perspective, is the mother. You can only bring a certain amount of stuff with you when they came to your door to take you away, and the mother somehow snuck her sewing machine, and there's so many levels of thinking about that, like where this was giving her some level of control back into her life. I mean, you took her away from her home, her things, their family, work, all of that. And now, they're staying in these, some of them were like barracks type places, and other instances they were staying in stalls, for horse stalls, like barns. And she was able to pull together materials to make them clothes, to make them sheets, to make the curtains, to make it as much of home as she could. And it was a level of control, even as small as it may be, that she was able to do that they had taken away from her. And I liked to sit and think about that when I was reading it. And then, she stockpiled a bunch of candy before she left. I don't know how much she knew and how long she thought that they were going to be gone, but she did. And she kind of doled it out to them slowly. And it was like just a special treat when, all of their food is no longer, they can't control what they're eating. They're getting whatever they get, and certainly not desserts and sweets and good things like that. So this was a good thing for her kids, and he remembered it in a different way. Obviously he remembered it as like, oh, it was just a great thing to have that. And then you saw through his eyes, just playing on the train and not really understanding the guards and the seriousness of the matter, and you know, the naiveness about what could happen to them, and the dangers were presented in the book. And it was, you know, and showing how over time, you know, they grew to understand these dangers. But initially, you know, you have to remember that some of these kids were very young, and you just didn't live like that before, so it would be really hard for you to kind of fathom what would be, you know. So I really, really appreciated this book. Again, I highly recommend it. I think it's, even if you've read one before, it's always good to kind of dip your foot back into something that you think you know, because you always pick up something else you didn't know. And it just reminds us so that we can keep these things fresh, so we never repeat anything so horrific again. It's just, you know, especially in the political climate we're in now, it's more important for us to really educate ourselves on the past, so that we can really know how to move forward in the future, that we're all can treat each other right and have a good life. I'm really grateful that he actually put this book together, and I'm grateful that I picked it up. I think that I probably wouldn't have necessarily gravitated to it as quickly, because like I said, I had read a couple other books, but I was like, oh, Star Trek, I'll read his book. So, you know, I have to say that was also a driving factor for me. But I think it's really important for us to take the time to seek out these kind of books. And this is a graphic novel, so it could be read by kids, it could be read by adults, and there's definitely lessons and things to learn in the book. So that's it. I'm sitting here waiting. It's early release. I'm waiting for the kids. I hope you guys have... oh, my phone's gonna die if it's not plugged in. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to having a nice weekend, and I am gonna actually go to be able to see this author of this. Is it upside down? Yeah, well, it's upside down. To see the author of the Good Luck Girls, and maybe I'll get her autograph this weekend. So I will let you all know. But I hope you guys are well, and thanks for stopping by. Bye.